Okay, it's Monday, February 26th, and this is a morning SPY update about an hour and a half into trading. I think you can see here that the SPY isn't doing all that much. There's a little bit of a bias to the downside to start the session here, but we still, even on this downward move, haven't taken out some of the little liquidity areas to the downside yet. That either signify that we've reached a target or that we're going to get, a kind of a red to green move back to the upside. On the daily chart, after that pause day on Friday, you can see here it's just inside of that day in the first hour and a half. So there's no strong directional push to start up with momentum, and yet there's no real major sell-off developing either. And it's kind of unfolding to start some kind of a red to green move, but I wouldn't even love seeing that here if it hadn't taken out liquidity first, to get back to the highs of the day. But so I guess I'm just showing that nothing is really unfolding here in the overall market. And I'm still on the weekly chart after the weekly recap, anticipating the highs of last week to be tested in some form before either you get continuation to the upside or that can maybe start the failure back down. So that's why, until I have no problem with this little pause continuing as it sets up for another move higher, and then we kind of see what unfolds from there. But, just showing that nothing much is going on. And if I kind of go around the stocks that I follow, let me click off of that. Not much is going on a lot of stocks either. Stocks like Meta, kind of pausing a little bit. Started red, took out their pre-market lows, but really haven't bounced, anywhere near to test the first bar high. Same thing with Microsoft that I watch. Nvidia, actually, I decided to buy. I just shot a video how I bought that on a red to green move because that showed some little strength, and I'm already out of that trade with a nice base hit gain. I'm just going to watch it. And there were some stocks like Coinbase that actually moved up very strong, and those are the ones you kind of, in this environment, there's not much to do other than maybe focus on some individual stocks. So I played this one to the upside. Again, I took my gains in the morning. I'm just continuing to watch it. There could be a secondary push, pause, retest those highs again. There's still big picture moves to the upside here, in the 190 area, but it's had a pretty big move this morning so far. So probably going to digest that for a little while. Even stocks like Amazon not doing much, you can see. So I look around the board, Apple started lower, but just holding. So I kind of know the environment, and that's why, I just got out of my trades. I'm watching and just thought I'd point out, on the SPY, and then we go lower. That's not surprising after this move here that we were going to come down and take out some liquidity. Now I'll kind of judge, look, if I miss some kind of big move down that then gives me a 2 down day, that kind of projects down into this gap. But the exciting thing would be if we get down, if we do have a 2 down day and then eventually can't move to these targets, get excited to buy the upside. That's all, you could say at the moment. But I'm not even excited for the sell here because I still think on the weekly chart we're heading up, to test last week's high. So it's more of a thing now. I think we're taking out liquidity the downside. We'll look for either maybe a red to green move today, something that looks a strong green that can test that high. If that doesn't develop, then there's just nothing to do today on the SPY, and maybe just continue watching it in the days ahead. So buys are still to the upside. Actually, if we get a 2 down day to start the week and it fails in any way going lower, that could really be exciting as the week moves on to buy it eventually. And at the moment, it's more or less looking at individual stocks the way I see it. And, the opening price, I guess the only thing to really consider was maybe a sell if you wanted to just see what developed. But as it grinds lower here, be very careful that it's not going to follow through all that much. But there was this target here, which it took out. There's the, intraday. It could, hit this pre-market lows, which gives us a 2 down day. And who knows, maybe momentum will pick up to the downside. So if that develops, by the way, and you get to this inflection point, in the yesterday's low and take that out and you notice some momentum kicking in, that first pullback can offer a secondary trade to the downside. So, it's possible the downside will unfold, but I'm going to wait and see if price action does that. If not, I'm still thinking back to the up, in some form. And, I'm not going to get too aggressive with it now. And maybe this thing is going to, if it's going to go up, maybe it's going to take the rest of the day, into tomorrow or later in the week before it eventually starts up. So we'll see what unfolds. Just thought I'd give a little morning update here on the SPY.